Hello,
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Larter Show.
the Larter Show.
Oh, wait, now our video's cutting off the title. Let me scooch this up a little here.
Dude,
Wait, that made us way too small. I'm
we're
just gonna,
tiny.
I'm just gonna take this and move this. Hello. Sorry, it's been a minute since we did the paint bit, so I have to get
You have to do the select.
yeah. All right, now we can be normal sized. Oh, flibbity. Okay. Earl.
Flibbity skibbity.
Hi everyone, and welcome.
Okay. Move down the chat a little bit too.
Nah, you can see it. Got it
Oh yeah,
all.
we're good.
Yep. Yeah, we don't want to stay boring here and act like we have it all
Yeah,
figured out. We want to
we're
keep,
real.
yeah, keep
We're real
ourselves
ragtag.
and our audience on their toes. But yeah,
Exactly.
welcome everyone to the show. Um, we watched two movies. One of them we watched it together, and it was, what, 2 weeks ago now, or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
2 or 3 weeks ago. And we watched it in a theater. And then
Yeah,
the other movie we watched uh, on our own, and I watched it last night, and Carter watched it this morning.
I did.
And those movies, respectively, are Mickey 17 and Okja, as you might have guessed
Yeah,
from the title of the show and the paint, paint drawing that I've done.
yeah. The beautiful paint drawing that he
Thank
did.
you. I find
Yeah,
it's nice because a lot of the stuff we draw, like there's a lot of like distinct iconography, so I don't have to try that hard on the drawing and like feel like you can tell what I'm drawing, if you know what
yeah.
it is.
Exactly.
hmm But yeah, so two movies, both by acclaimed director Bong Joon-ho. Uh, and I think we're gonna talk about Mickey 17 first. So,
Yeah,
Carter, what did you think of Mickey 17?
I loved Mickey 17. I in the past I haven't seen all of his movies, but I love Bong Joon-ho. He's one of my favorite directors. And from what I've seen, he hasn't had a miss,
hmm
uh, which is spoiling a little bit what I thought of Okja. But it wasn't a miss, I'll say that.
Okay.
But Mickey 17, I wouldn't say it's among his best films, but like it is. I think it's really funny and like had the I really liked the political and social commentary it had going for it, even if it was a bit on the nose,
hmm
very on the nose.
Yeah.
uh, but I think there's a lot going this movie is going for, and I think it executes it pretty well. And I had a blast watching it the whole time.
Yeah. I likewise enjoyed the movie. I'll say I don't have as much of a well, I do like Bong Joon-ho a lot, but I think I saw one of his movies that I didn't think was like a miss, but I just thought was like whatever, and that was it's Parasite, right? I think the
No,
one
Parasite's the really good
oh no,
one.
oh my gosh. Yeah, you're so right.
The host.
The host. I thought Parasite because there is like a parasite type creature in in the movie. Yeah, it's the host,
I
which
saw like
is
30 minutes of the host, and I really liked what I watched, but I need to watch the whole thing.
that one's also a creature feature. That one's supposed to be, what do you call it? Like a
Like
kaiju
a
type movie. Yeah,
yeah,
except it's like a small guy who's like a parasite type thing, but he's actually the host. Um
yeah. But
and
Parasite's awesome.
Yeah, no, Parasite's awesome.
And
I love that movie. I've seen that movie
I
like
was
four
about to be
times. I don't know how I could. mix that up, but
I
yeah.
was about to be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why is that the whatever one?
Yeah. No, I love that movie. Obviously won like Best Picture in the year that it came out, and that was controversial
Yeah,
for Ben Shapiro among other people because it was a foreign movie. That one.
I it's gonna. I think that movie's gonna be like in 50 years. That movie is gonna be like considered one of the best ever.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it's like one of his best movies, and I think it's cool because I think like this movie, like I'll say this about the host. I kind of didn't like it just because it was so serious. And I think what's awesome about this movie and the two movie or like about Parasite and the two movies that we watched is that like they all do a good job of balancing like the, seriousness with the humor. And I feel like
Yeah,
Mickey 17 like definitely follows suit with that, with the kind of comedy and stuff it's got going on.
out of all out of all the movies I've seen from him, Mickey 17 is the most clear. Like it's a comedy for the most
Yeah.
part.
hmm
I mean, it's not like I would say not necessarily fully a comedy because it has a lot of serious aspects to it, and it's like tackling serious issues, but it is like the whole runtime. It is a funny movie,
Yeah.
and yeah, I like that vibe from him. Uh, I will say and both of these are like, well, I guess Okja is a mix of, it's mostly English, but it does have Korean in there.
Yeah.
Uh, out of I haven't seen Snowpiercer, but I'm guessing that like in general his English language films have like kind of a different vibe to his like Korean language films.
Yeah, I'll say there's definitely a different vibe to them in these two movies. I remember I did watch Snowpiercer when I was like 16 or something. It was just on TV, and I thought it was so weird. But in retrospect, it's like I definitely want to rewatch it, but I don't. I think it's like honestly, to me, normal now. Or at least like
Yeah.
compared to his other
Wow.
movies. It's like not
I
as
just think
crazy.
I think like with his English speaking films, that's kind of where we get like the. I mean, I think he gets big budgets for all those movies now because he's so like
Acclaimed.
acclaimed and like
Yeah.
canonized at this point. But you kind of get more of like the showy Hollywood style film with his English speaking films, and you also get more of like an all star cast.
Yeah.
Uh, which I don't know, Parasite I guess had it because I mean like in Korea all those people are
An
probably
all-star cast
all
that
star.
we as Americans recognize more easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, with Mickey 17 you get Robert Pattinson who's the main character, and I think he pulls off maybe my favorite. That's a strong statement because he's the thing about Robert Pattinson is that he's really been killing it lately. He's been in
Yeah.
so many good movies, but
Yeah.
this might be my favorite performance of his.
I think it would be tough between this and like The Lighthouse
The
for me.
Lighthouse,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Uh,
definitely up
they're
there.
very different,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I Robert Pattinson. It's just like he's usually like playing kind of like a gruff, jaded guy. I don't know how to
Yeah.
describe it entirely, but like this movie, he's just a full on like nerd, like
Yeah.
kind of a little bit of a like kind of a loser,
I think he
but like
said he was
really like
like challenge or what is the word? Channeling certain performances. I remember seeing this before the movie came out. Um, 'Cause I mean he plays basically two people in this movie, Mickey 17
yeah.
and Mickey 18. And I think when he played Mickey 18, he said he was like channeling Steve Buscemi in Fargo. I think that's how you say his name.
Okay.
Yeah, which like if you've seen that movie, I think you could see it. Like he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" come on, man, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Which yeah, Mickey 18 was definitely doing. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a super versatile like performance, I think, from him. Like just, I remember we were talking after the movie when we watched it, and we said like, I think it was really impressive how he was able to like make himself when he's performing Mickey 17 and Mickey 18 like so distinct like from his
Hmm.
acting that like there's no point where you're like, oh wait, which one's which again? Like it was very, very clear, I feel like the whole
Even
time.
with like his like physical acting, like
Yeah.
it's like they have like different mannerisms and stuff. And it's interesting because they're also like technically the same character,
Yeah. Well,
which is fun. I
yeah.
mean, like kind of, but it's like I don't know. It's like a fun dynamic they got going on with that.
Yeah. You know, I just realized in Okja there's also one actor playing two people as well. Uh
True. What's her name? Tilda Swinton.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she was good. But we'll get to that when we talk about
Yeah.
Okja.
But yeah, no. So I think yeah, Mickey 17, I feel like I don't know, maybe it's 'cause like the last thing I saw from him was Parasite. And even though Parasite, like I think Parasite's awesome also 'cause it's got that like comedy drama vibe, but I think it makes a very like noticeable shift through its runtime like from like mostly comedy to like mostly drama that like I think when I was watching or going into Mickey 17, I kind of thought it would be more serious. Um, but I think I've like come to appreciate it more for what it is. Even though I was like at first a little bit like, wow, okay, this is stupid. Like I could like see,
I had that thought a little bit when I first was watching it.
yeah.
Uh, Mostly, I mean, like when I was first watching it, I was like really loving it at the
Mm-hmm.
start, and then Mark Ruffalo came in,
Yeah.
and I was like, Mark Ruffalo, he is great in this movie.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic actor. Uh, but like he plays like the most on the nose 2017 Orange Man Bad Trump Donald Trump character that you
Yeah.
could possibly imagine. And I'll get more into my feelings about that performance later
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, I don't know. But I that went from being like kind of like, oh, this is going to be kind of an eye roll to like
Yeah.
actually I really enjoyed that part of the movie. I think
Yeah.
like this I think it handled like in terms of like that character, like that caricature. I think this movie is like one of the best examples of doing that.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, like, I didn't see that like Trump movie that got all the Oscar buzz and stuff, and I think it maybe won something. Um,
Yeah,
but I've
The
in
Apprentice. What?
yeah, I've in general like kind of strayed away from like actual movies explicitly about Trump or like documentary style or whatever. Or I guess not really documentary style, but like a dramatized retelling of something about Donald Trump. Just 'cause it's like I just fear that like there's going to be a lack of subtlety and like I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like also it's like something that we have seen a lot and it's just like I don't know. It feels like there's not that much interesting you can add at this point, but I feel like this movie like kind of built off of that like caricature and like used it to do something interesting rather than just like, guys, isn't he crazy? Like that kind of thing, you know?
Here's what here's kind of my thought about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so oh my God, my mind just went blank. So so I think that oh my God, I had like a whole thing in my head that I was about to like go into.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree,
okay,
Ozzy.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
So Trump, obviously Trump won the election, and I've heard people say that like this movie is kind of like an alternate history where like Trump lost the election. I mean, like there's some stuff in there that's like, I think this movie had to be filmed in like 2022 or 23. Like it had to
Yeah.
be filmed a while ago, and there's some stuff that this movie foreshadows that like. kind of crazy. Like the assassination attempt happens in the movie,
Yeah.
uh, and there's literally a scar on his face, like in
Yeah.
like this very similar spot to where Trump his assassination attempt happened, which is crazy. But also, there's the line at the beginning of the movie where they're like, "Oh, he lost to like after
Y-
two election
Two
losses."
consecutive election losses. Yeah.
And yeah, I think this movie was going into it like, "Oh, he's gonna lose,"
Yeah.
but you know what happened. But
Yeah.
I think with all that going for it, I think we've been seeing like a trend with media in general, like mostly like news media, and I think we've talked about this like not on the show, but if you've noticed, like the media is kind of acquiescing to Trump.
Mm. For
They're
sure.
kind of like they're kind of like more normalizing him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and I feel like because of that, I feel like I've seen less and less like purely anti-Trump
Yeah.
media.
Mhm.
And this is like one of the first examples, like post him like becoming president again, like post inauguration, like of like a purely just like clearly anti-Trump movie. And for that, I think this is a movie that we need.
Mm. Yeah. No,
I
and
think like
yeah.
that. I mean, that's pretty much where I was going. Like, I just think like we need a movie where the good guy wins. And I mean, that's a spoiler. I mean, it's kind of like obvious that
Dude,
happened.
you're telling
You
me, dude.
telling me this movie has a happy ending?
Yeah.
Uh, but and like no, actually that's very true. Like
Mhm.
it's just like it's crazy how much that's happened. And now Democrats even are like, I mean, they'll say they're against Trump, but they won't do anything to really
I
stop
mean,
him.
I think like it's the at least the message you're hearing from a lot of like majority Democrat or minority leaders for from Democrats is like it's not one of like we need to fight him and stop his agenda. It's like we're gonna like cater to him and like, hope and pray that he does something for us, which is just like so I mean, I think that's like
It's
what the
delusional.
I mean, it's delusional and like stupid and embarrassing. And I think I think the news media is kind of like accepting that framing for the most part and is just kind of like I'll say, since he got like inaugurated, not to like go down this rabbit hole too much, but like I think now with this recent like what is it? The scandal with the Signal group or whatever that went on.
Yeah, I need to look more into that, but that is crazy.
I feel like this is the first time that we've actually seen any kind of like serious critique from anyone, and like you're seeing also that like Fox News and like CNN, for instance, are both kind of being critical here. But that's a conversation for
Yeah.
a different show, I think. But yeah, no, I do think it's nice that this show is. I mean, I think also it's like we're kind of, especially like when we watch it in this kind of period, there is kind of like there's been kind of a malaise, I think, since he's been elected, and everyone's just kind of like sad about the whole state of affairs, really across the
It's
aisle
nice to make
too.
kind of a joke about it.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, really, I feel like the only people I see talking about politics are either like, "Thank you, Lord Jesus God, everything is amazing. It's amazing. We love it." Like no matter what's going on, or "Wow, this sucks," and literally nothing in between. Like it's a crazy moment, I think, to be living in politically. So for a movie like this to come and like kind of make light of the situation in a way that's like cathartic and not just like uh I don't know. Like it's like unserious, but it's so like everything else about it is so removed from our reality that it's like cathartic to just like see everything play out in like a silly way, you know?
That's a really good way to put it. I think cathartic is a really good word for this because I think like it's just like I mean it's I think it's like everyone I mean hopefully everyone who's watching this show his hope is to see Trump fail and
Yeah,
get
as
out of
yeah,
office, which
I
probably
hope
won't
you
happen,
you
but
don't like Trump or else.
or else. But it's just it's nice to see a movie where a Trump-like figure loses very hard and becomes a joke at the end, and also it helps that he's played by Mark Ruffalo, who's a fantastic actor,
Yeah.
uh, like one of the best like modern actors ever. So like that helps. He we were talking. I don't remember who I was talking about this with, but he plays kind of a similar character in Poor Things.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, I think I didn't realize until Poor Things that he's really got chops for like a comedic role. And
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I think he's kind of fulfilling that also in this movie, like in the same vein as he was in Poor Things.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I think that's like the most. I think that's going to be the part of this movie that most people are going to be talking about. Is just like the like Mark Ruffalo in this movie and like the implications. And I think like what I totally understand people like viewing this movie as just like a kind of like what I said like 2017 Orange Man bad Donald Trump
Yeah.
Cheeto John Oliver Stephen
Yeah, yeah.
Colbert.
Your name should be
uh,
Donald Trump.
it was actually funny. This is kind of an aside. I watched there was like a recent I think it was the John Oliver episode about Trump's reelection. I watched that and he actually made like a comment in it where he was like it was like I understand that a lot of anti-Trump media is like eye rolling and he was like including stuff from our show and then he shows like a screenshot of like the Trump episode and
Yeah.
he's like including stuff from our show and he's like guys, if you still saying this, please stop. And I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like he's
Yeah.
self-aware and he
Yeah.
realized what when he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think you're right about it being like something we kind of needed right now to chill. I think in general too, just like with my vibes with the politics, I've been needing some like escapism and like stuff to kind of like center me because I think just like following the news in general is like kind of super overwhelming right now. So
yeah,
it's nice to have like stuff to focus on besides that, and also stuff to focus on that can like help me process it, you know? Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I feel like this is like a perfect thing for like a conservative to be like cry more liberal. Like this is like we're really you know, complaining about Trump, which like I don't know. It is what it is. But oh yeah, I know Abby really liked Wicked as well. And, I mean I watched it and I liked it too. And that has some
Did Wicked
interesting.
have like did it have like some commentary about
Oh,
that stuff? I
absolutely.
didn't see Wicked. I
Yeah,
didn't
oh
watch
yeah.
Wicked.
It's
I should.
definitely yeah, there's definitely some like political commentary. I would say most of its criticisms are more levied towards like well-meaning Democrats, if that makes sense,
Okay.
than Republicans. But yeah, nonetheless, super fun movie and like uh good singing and set design and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I guess just like I'm trying to think about other things that even happened in Mickey 17. Like like the two things that I remember mostly are like, you know, Mickey 17 himself and Robert like, you know, Robert Pattinson's performance and Mark Ruffalo. It's like those are the only things. And then besides that, I am like remembering now how there was like a love triangle rhombus thing going on with
I
like
thought that was
two.
a fun, a fun dynamic that was going on there.
Yeah.
Where like you know like Mickey 17 has a girlfriend uh on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and he discovers that there's like, and she discovers that there's two of them, and her first thought is like, I'm gonna have an awesome threesome,
Yeah.
and I think that's it's funny. I mean like that's
That scene was funny. I enjoyed I like I'm just like realizing now like I just like don't remember that lady character that much. And actually she did have some awesome moments at the end, like poning
I
Tony
like the
Collette.
I like the whole thing of her like trying like holding the onto the rope with her
Yeah.
mouth like
Yeah.
while to prevent oh yeah, the creatures in this movie are called creepers. Did we say that?
Creepers.
Or we were
No.
saying that before.
Yeah,
Uh,
these things over here. This, oh God, this is a creeper.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah,
Lars's rendition. Uh,
creeper.
but yeah, it's yeah, she was really good, and I think all the performances were really good. There were some overlapping actors.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that you just said Tilda Swinton is in this
Yeah.
as well, and but also she plays similar characters in these movies.
Yeah. Wait,
Uh,
wait, was Tilda Swinton and Mickey 17? Who was she?
yeah. Uh, or am I? Is it the wrong
I
name?
think you're thinking of
Am I
Toni
like?
Collette, the lady
Oh
from
God, no,
Hereditary.
I
Yeah.
always mix them up. I
They're
always mix them
similar. They
up.
have similar vibes. I can see it.
Yeah,
But
that's my bad. But yeah, those are similar characters, but played by different
yeah.
actors.
Yeah, but it's two white women with blonde hair that are acclaimed actors. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I think yeah, Toni Collette's character was good. She was really funny with her like sauce bit that she kept doing, which is like
yeah,
that's like another through line between these two movies is like wanting to make awesome food out of the creatures. Um,
yeah,
I'm like curious because I know Mickey 17 is based on a book. Like I'm curious what kind of things are like from the book originally and which things are like Bongisms or whatever you want to call it.
yeah. Long hits.
Yeah. Because I can see his um I don't know. I feel like I can see his influence on a lot of like the plot elements of this, but I don't know if it's just because he like picked a book that is suited to his vibe, you know?
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, all in all, I mean, I think it was like a really entertaining, cathartic movie. Silly and like it was like a good thing to watch in theaters, I feel like.
yeah. It's
Nice.
like a kind of a spectacle,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit.
Exactly. It was a fun experience and yeah, it was like the most interesting movie that's come out this year so far. I'm trying to think of like anything else that's come out. And I feel like I'm
I
kind
haven't
of
really
drawing
seen
it.
it. Anything, I don't think.
I feel like people haven't been talking about that much either, but people are talking about like The Monkey, which is like a horror movie.
The monkey that likes to kill my family.
Yeah, exactly.
The line in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's
That's
kind of
like
awesome. I heard the movie was fun.
I heard
That's
it
kind
was
of
cool
like the
too. I'd be
yeah.
interested in checking that out. It's giving oh, shoot Malignant. I don't know why it's giving
Yeah,
that kind of
Malignant
vibe.
was so good.
Yeah.
Uh, I remember that's one of my favorite watching a movie with you experiences was that movie because I think we both kind of had the same arc with it.
Yeah, I think we're all kind
Yeah,
of
where we
incredulous. We're just like, what is this? Some kind of
yeah like what the fuck.
yeah.
I wasn't like used to like campy movies, so I guess I didn't get the vibe it was going for like when I was first watching it. But then like
Yeah.
near the end, I was just like, this movie is it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I really got into it. I remember one time I was like trying to explain to people how it was so good, and I just like skipped to the part of the movie where like she starts killing people. And I mean no spoilers 'cause, you know, well, I think everyone who's here has seen it, but you don't know who I'm referring to. But anyway, you know, there's this scene where there's like a lot of killing that happens. And I was like, "See,
Yeah,
guys, isn't this awesome?" And they're like, "Yeah, this is awesome. I guess I'll watch it." Um,
yeah,
which is fun. But yeah, yeah, Mickey 17. I don't know if there's that much more to say about it, but dope movie, dope performances, and yeah, it's cool that Bong Joon-ho just like keeps making bangers. Pretty
yeah.
awesome
Still,
of
he's still
him.
got it.
Hmm.
He hasn't. I mean, he hasn't been. I mean, he's been making movies for a long time, but like not compared to like some other directors. I think he started in like the 2000s
Yeah.
with like his feature films.
Hmm. Also, wait, I guess we haven't really talked about this part, but do you feel like there's any kind of like interesting class commentary going on in
I mean, yeah.
Mickey 17? Because I feel like that's like Bong
I think,
Joon-ho's like staple at this point, you know?
yeah, I mean, Parasite has that a lot. Okja a little bit.
I feel
Uh,
like Okja has like a different aim, if that makes sense.
yeah, but I think it's there in Okja.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this movie is definitely like, I mean, like it kind of
I mean, technically, like the big
shows.
bad is like a debt collector, right? So I think,
Yeah,
yeah, that's maybe where that's coming from. And like Mickey himself is like a working class bloke, who's,
yeah,
paid to kill himself constantly. But
yeah. It is. Yeah, I like how it does it though. I think the commentary is really like interesting and fun.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I guess we can start chatting about Okja now. So Okja,
Yeah.
I finished it
What did
last
you think
night.
of Okja?
I okay, well, I'd like to say this too. I watched, I think half of this movie like a year ago or something, and I forgot about it. But then when I was rewatching, I was like, oh wait, I've seen this before. But I didn't watch the second half, so the second half was like new to me. Um, but I honestly, it's kind of crazy to me because the first time I watched this, I was kind of like mildly enjoying it. Like I was like, oh, this is like cool, I guess. But then I think going into it the second time, it filled me with like childlike whimsy and joy that made me like really enjoy it. And like I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I think when I first watched it, I was like again maybe expecting something more serious or like not expecting it to be so like over the top silly because this is almost like a cartoon movie, low key. Like it's
Yeah,
like
there is
it
some of that.
yeah. It's like yeah, I mean that like I don't know one scene that sticks out to me that I remember is like there's a part where the animal liberation people are like escaping and they literally like drop marbles on the floor and the cops are like
Yeah,
whoa
I remember
whoa like that
that.
kind of thing. It's like
There's a lot of great action scenes in this movie.
yeah. Also there's a lot of poop in this movie.
Yeah, I like the poop. The poop's funny.
Yeah, I think literally right after that marble scene, the pig guy poops on a guy running at them. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's like very silly. And I think when I first watched it, I was just kind of like, this is very childish. Or like not, I don't know, I wasn't like getting into the vibe of it, but this time I thought it was like really sweet and I really I don't know, it like kind of reminded me of like Totoro, you know, with like the little girl
yeah.
and giant animal combo. And I think that like really made me get into it. And Abby kind of watched it with me. She'd already seen it, but she kept comparing Okja to Linus, our cat. Um so
Oh,
so I don't know, that made me like in that endeared me to Okja more as I watched it. So yeah, also like I just finished watching Invincible. I don't know if you've seen that or like
I
familiar
haven't
with
seen. I
it at
know
all.
about it though.
But yeah, Stephen Yoon, is that how you say his name? Yoon?
Yeah, I think so.
He is like the main voice actor in that, and so I'm like more predisposed to him as an actor now. So I feel like all the things kind of aligned for me to like enjoy this movie way more when I watched it. And yeah, I had a really good time. I really liked it. And again, I hadn't seen the second half, like I didn't know what happens, and like actually seeing that second half made me like I don't know, it made it like impact me a lot more because yeah, it does take like a kind of like really dark but like expected turn, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So yeah, all in all, really enjoyed it. But yeah, what did you think?
this is going to be an interesting dynamic for this because based on what you're saying, it sounds like you like this movie a lot more than I did.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, so first of all, I liked this movie. It was really good, I think. Uh, it's by far my least favorite film of his that I've
Really?
seen.
Hmm.
Yeah. I really liked it. Uh, Now you were talking. Now I feel bad because you were talking about like all the whimsy and like how much like you're connecting with the Okja, a creature because of your cat, and now I'm just kind of like I don't know. This one just like didn't do it for me as much. I really liked. Again, this one's got an all-star cast. It's got Paul Dano. It's got Tilda Swinton. I always forget the guy for Breaking Bad's name, but he's in it.
Yeah.
We got Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, but
And
uh,
did you mention, I mean, like Jake Gyllenhaal? He's like the,
oh, Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah.
He's I. This is crazy. I feel like this is gonna be crazy. He's like my least favorite performance of the movie.
Okay, I was like thinking about it, and I thought he was like I enjoyed his performance, but I think sometimes he was hamming it up like a little bit too much.
That's what bothered me about it. It's just like I think he's just like I don't know, like he's exaggerating to like a just weird like degree, and like it kind of like took me out of it a little bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it's interesting because I feel like there is kind of a parallel between his like performance and Robert Pattinson's, and I think it's made
yeah,
me realize how difficult it is to nail that like vibe of like not like, completely acting like crazy, but also seem like you're a character in a movie and not like you're acting crazy, if you get what I mean. And I feel like,
yeah,
yeah, I feel like he does kind of veer into that territory of like maybe seeming like a guy who's just messing around more so than like he's actually a character in the movie, you know what I mean? Um, so yeah, I think sometimes it was better than others, and like sometimes it was like a bit much. Like I feel like at the beginning he was okay, and
yeah.
I also
I
feel
liked him
like
more as like a frustrated TV, like jaded TV host than like him like actually in character as the TV host.
yeah, yeah. Like I think at the New York like festival thing, that's when I felt like he was like the most like, okay, bro, we
I
get
was like,
it.
Tate, you like, all right, man. Uh, uh, it this is like one that's like kind of like hard to like really explain why I think it just kind of boils down to like I guess I want it like okay, so I love the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Hmm.
Where they're in the forest and she's just playing with Okja, and it's like just that whole scene. Like I love like kind of the soundtrack being like I love how the soundtrack a lot of it's like kind of like folksy like 70s
Yeah,
kind of music. I love how it really gives off like like a pro nature like movie, like kind of like very like environmental, and I love that.
yeah.
I think it just kind of lost me like when like it did get to the more like when she gets into Seoul and they
Hmm.
like there's a lot of like chase scenes, and I think I just wanted that more for the movie, but I think like in the end I really enjoyed it, and like I had a good time with it, but I think I wanted something else, like something a little different from this movie that I ended up getting.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. And like I think that's how I felt going into it the first time. And like in a weird way, I feel like watching half of it and then forgetting about it and then watching it again
Yeah.
like made for a more enjoyable experience because I like knew what to expect and could like meet it on its level because it like undeniably this movie has like a weird vibe, like a very
Yeah.
like unusual even for Bong Joon-ho, like unusual kind of like tone, that's like again it's like almost cartoonish, like I'm watching Tom and Jerry, like the
Yeah.
the little girl.
Especially like
Go ahead.
antics with the antics with the animal rights organization
Yeah,
like are often like they're very like kind of slapstick.
yeah, definitely. And I think I feel like it's interesting because, like, obviously, I think we know, like, Bong Joon-ho probably stands, like, on more of the side of the animal rights people than the corporation people, like just because we know like his filmography. But I do think it's interesting because I feel like he really like satirizes both of them like a lot and like kind of makes
Yeah.
caricatures of both of them. But I think that makes it fun and entertaining.
What? Yeah, I had interesting thoughts about that in particular because at first, when I was watching this, when they were introduced, I was like kind of worried that they were going to be made out to be like bad guys as well.
Yeah.
But this movie very much does not do that. Like I think it just shows them as like kind of like obviously flawed people with their own self-interest, but in the end they are fighting for a good cause and are
Well-meaning.
like
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
well-meaning people. And like especially with like Stephen Young's character like kind of being redeemed at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and like with like the shitty thing he did in the movie, but like in the end like he ends up like kind of reconnecting with the people in the organization. Like it's a cool moment. I love Paul Dano.
Yeah, me too.
Paul Dano. I think Paul Dano is my favorite performance in this movie.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, he has like an actual like I don't know, he has like a presence in the movie. Like every time he's on screen, he feels like he's like uh I don't know, like everyone's looking at him, and he's got something
Yeah,
to say.
yeah, exactly. And
Hmm.
I do like how it handles it. I also really liked I really like the ending of this movie. I really
Yeah.
like how it ends. Like I what I like about it is that it doesn't like it doesn't like wrap in like a tight little bow like
Hmm.
and like the way and like the way that you would kind of like expect like kind of a
Yeah.
whimsical movie like this. Obviously, it's more like bittersweet than anything
Yeah.
because like I'm not gonna say what happens exactly, but like obviously like there's still horrible things going on in the world,
Put it
but
this
like
way,
in the
like I think this movie had the potential to like end on like a serious downer. Like for a moment I
yeah
actually thought it would. But it didn't. But I think 'cause it got so close, like it kind of made you think about that like
yeah
it made you think more about the sad aspects of what it's talking about than just like thinking like, ooh, this is awesome, everything's okay, like that kind of vibe. But it's also not depressing. Like I feel like
yeah
it did a good job of like mixing a good ending and bad ending, if that makes sense.
yeah and like all of this stuff I've been talking about is stuff I really liked about this movie and like just me as a person I like to focus on stuff I like about the movie. I feel like it's just like sometimes it's like what people do is like it's kind of like easy to talk about stuff that you don't like, and like some people
Yeah.
like find it more entertaining. But I think like in the end, like I did really like this movie. It's just
Hmm.
I didn't like it as much as his other movies, and I think it's just like that simple. It's just not as much for me,
Interesting. But I am
and that's
curious
fine.
to hear what do you think put you off from the movie so much?
I think it's just what I was saying, like with kind of just how I wanted it to go, and like it
Hmm.
not really 100%. I didn't really like the as much. I didn't really enjoy the corporate stuff that was going on. Like until this one, I think this one did a good job.
Hmm.
Uh, but like I just didn't like really care about any of that stuff, and I didn't really. I thought the whole thing with the what's the Brando Corp
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever the corporation's called. I
Hmm.
thought it was kind of on the nose, but in like a bad way.
Interesting. I
In a way that I didn't like as much. I don't know. I have a hard time putting that into words, but I just something about that was just like kind of an eye roll.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think maybe because I watched Succession recently, I've been craving a like corporate silliness vibe for a little bit, so it kind of filled that need for me. I don't think it was like nearly as funny or like interesting as Succession, obviously, but I guess my thought on that whole subplot was like I liked because I think you could have just made it where it's like the corporation is like evil and that's it and they like are evil the whole way and like I think it's interesting that they portrayed it in a way where it's like they had the CEO lady being like well-meaning even though she's obviously like sucks also but then like giving her more of a character than just being like, "Ooh, I'm gonna kill so many innocent creatures. Ooh, I'm so evil." Like, I think
But then
that
in the
was,
end, you get her twin, and
yeah,
that's basically what she is.
yeah. No, for sure. But I feel like to me that serves to kind of like, to me, I feel like that makes for like a stronger critique in the sense that like it's not trying to say that like all the people who are in these roles are bad necessarily, but like in order to succeed in these roles, you need to be bad, and that's why so many of them are bad, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe
the
I'm
vibe
giving
from
it a
like
little
Tilda
bit too
Swinton's
much
character.
credit, but yeah.
No. I think like I think like there's different ways to look at this. And like that's the beauty of art, subjective. But I don't know. That was a really cool thing I just did.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll remember that. It's I feel like that should be like a sound drop. The beat of our
subjectivity.
Nice.
uh, the vibe I got from Tilda Swinton's character is that she was just kind of like dumb,
Yeah,
kind of like happened into like her role in the
yeah.
company, and is like and kind of knows that like what she's doing is bad, but does it
Hmm.
anyway. I guess out of some sense of like like wanting to like be a good person. I don't know. It like I get what you're saying, like why you like appreciate that part of the movie. I just like it just didn't really do much for me.
Yeah,
I
fair
don't know.
enough. Yeah. Um,
I oh go you gone.
no, yeah, I was just gonna say also I really like the bit of like that one animal liberation guy who didn't eat anything because he
Yeah, I
felt
like
bad
that.
like that. I don't know, like I feel like I have some friends like that, you know what I mean? Like I
There was the funny part where they're in the parade and they're like, have you tried this? Like it's so good, and
yeah.
he's just like, and it like cuts away.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I was
I
like,
think it's like a you can tell it's like a parody or like a caricature from someone who actually cares about these types of folks. Like,
it's very loving. It's like a
yeah.
loving caricature.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than like the CEO people who are like, the message is at their core, these people are like evil and inhuman almost, uh, rather than like well-meaning and like goofy.
They could have made the animal rights people like PETA, like that type of
Yeah.
like, but like it's not like that. It's just
Yeah,
like,
it's not mean-spirited. Yeah.
yeah. But in the end, like I don't know. I maybe I like hyped up too much, like me not like being as big on this movie because like I did really like it. Like it's a really good
Yeah.
movie. It's just like not like it's just like kind of like a few steps below all of this other stuff in my opinion, and that's fine. Like it, not every movie is gonna be a hit for me
Yeah. Yeah, well
as much as like other movies.
that's how I feel about Parasite apparently. I don't like that movie anymore. So
Oh yeah, I hate Parasite.
yeah.
I hate class warfare commentary stuff.
Yeah, I hate
I
seeing
love capitalism.
yeah, I hate seeing a critique of my awesome world.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, no, I think yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed watching both these movies. I think they make for like a really fun like, you know, pair to watch together because I do feel like they
Yeah.
share the same feeling of whimsy and they have their creatures, their funny little creatures. And
That's one thing I didn't talk about enough is that I loved Okja, like
oh
the
yeah.
creature.
Yeah.
He's the light or she. Oh fuck, I misgendered Okja.
Dude.
But dude, I'm gonna get killed by the woke mob. But o Okja just like so lovely and like
Yeah.
just playing around like and just like
And she's really
I,
smart.
what what as he said, and honestly, this is a thing that like kind of goes into more of why I didn't like this movie as much. I wanted to see more of Okja.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I don't know. I I think that's just the direction I wanted the movie to go in. More Okja, more whimsy,
Yeah.
less action scenes, less corporate bullshit. But overall, good movie. I keep I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I feel
you're
like I'm
good.
going on weird tangents.
No, I mean like yeah, I guess for me I feel like I enjoyed it because it was like I love that like snippet you get of Okja that's like enjoyable and fun. It's like it's kind of showing you how like the human world like doesn't profit from that, so it's going to like ruin it somehow, you know? Um
Yeah,
and I think that was like a interesting thing to see unfold. Um
yeah,
but yeah, overall, yeah, both fun Korean directed movies with American actors that
yeah.
are silly. Um, yeah, and I'll say
What other Bong
Snowpiercer.
Joon-ho movies? I was
Hmm?
gonna say, what other Bong Joon-ho movies have you seen?
Oh, well, Snowpiercer and The Host and Parasite, I think. I haven't seen Mother or
You gotta watch Mother is so good.
yeah, and then
That's
there's
like on par with Parasite to me.
the other one that's like really big.
Memories of Murder.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
That one's also really good. I need to rewatch it though.
Yeah. No, I'd love to watch them sometime for sure.
That's one I got from the library
Oh,
in
really?
freshman year.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that those are the days. Going to the library to
those were the days.
pick up movies. Damn, I almost
That was
forgot
so
about
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I miss having that as a resource.
yeah, it was like I don't know, it made like the movie watching experience so much more fun. And yes, we did make it through a whole Larter show episode without it crashing, knock on wood. Um,
Yeah, well, it's because you hosted this time. I think it's been crashing so much just because my internet's bad.
mm.
So like, but yeah.
At least it's
Any
good
final words
enough
you got?
to keep your video streaming to us, knock on wood.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I'd say this is a pretty successful episode. Um,
yeah. Uh, I enjoyed the conversation.
mhm.
Do you have any final words about either of these movies?
You should watch them if you're watching this, and you should give Bong Joon-ho money, and you should give us money, and you should not vote for Donald Trump for his third term.
First, third term. That's a. Apparently, they tried to like pass a law, like Republicans like put up like a law that was like they wanted it to make it legal for people to have
A third
like
term.
to run for it, but only if you didn't have two consecutive terms already.
Wow.
They just it's like so obvious they put that in there because they didn't want Obama to run again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. Well, you have any final notes before we log off?
Uh, no, both these movies are really good, and you should watch them. I like Mickey 17 more, but Okja is also really good. So both of
Ex
these are, and all of his movies are worth watching. Even the ones I
mhm.
haven't seen, I assume they're worth watching.
Except the host, not worth watching.
I assume that one's worth watching. Don't listen to Lars.
But yeah, and I guess also shout out to you, the viewer. Shout out to all
So
of you.
true.
Shout out
The
to
Larger Nation.
the Larder Nation. Shout out to this lovely world full of its uh lovely creatures and whimsy.
Shout out to Okja
Shout
and
out
the
to
Creepers.
Okja and Creepers.
Yeah. The Creepers
Alright.
like the like not like creepy people,
Like
but like
Minecraft
creepers.
movie. Foreshadowing for the next episode.
That's we're not. That's not what we're doing.
No, no. But maybe. Who knows?
We could do it. That might be a fun episode. I didn't think about. We could talk about the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
Would we
see, I
have?
guess.
I don't know if it. I don't know. That movie looks like it's going to be a disaster. So maybe we would have
Yeah.
a lot to say about it.
Only time will tell. But yeah, we won't be back next week, but we'll be back a week after that week.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's been nice chatting. It's been nice streaming. Uh, Shout out to the whole Laundry Nation and nice people of the world.
So
All right.
true.
Bye bye.
Bye.